Hi.
Hello. Page 294 of In Search of Christian Freedom by Franz. Ray is now dealing with the Bible basis for the blood prohibition. As noted, much of the Watchtower's argumentation centers around texts in the Hebrew Scriptures, largely from the ordinances of the Mosaic Law. Since the Society recognized that Christians are not under that law, the text at Genesis chapter 9, verses 1 to 7, is frequently cited. It says, quote, "And God went on to bless Noah and his sons, and to say to them, Be fruitful and become many, and fill the earth. And a fear of you and a terror of you will continue upon every living creature of the earth, and upon every flying creature of the heavens, upon everything that goes moving on the ground, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand they are now given. Every moving animal that is alive may serve as food for you. As in the case of the green vegetation, I give it all to you. Only flesh with its soul, its blood, you must not eat. And besides that, your blood of your souls shall I ask back. From the hand of every living creature shall I ask it back, and from the hand of man, from the hand of each one who is his brother, shall I ask back the soul of man. Anyone shedding man's blood, by man will his own blood be shed. For in God's image he made man. And as for you men, be fruitful and become many. Make the earth swarm with you and become many in it."
It is claimed that, since all humans descend from Noah and his sons, these commands still apply to all persons. It is implied that the ordinances on blood in the Mosaic Law were thereby to be viewed as simply repetitions of, or elaborations on the basic law set forth earlier, and hence still having force. Otherwise, since Christians are not under that Mosaic Law, there would be no purpose in citing text from it as having relevance in the issue. The divine decree regarding blood stated to Noah is claimed to be eternal in application.
If that is so, then should this not be equally true of the accompanying command to become fruitful and become many, to make the earth swarm with you and become many in it? And if this is the case, how can the Watchtower possibly justify its encouraging not only singleness, but even childlessness among those witness members who are married? Under the heading Childbearing Today, the March 1, 1988 Watchtower on page 21 says that in view of the limited time remaining to get the preaching work done, quote, "It is therefore appropriate for Christians to ask themselves how getting married, or if married, having children, will affect their share in that vital work," end of quote. It acknowledges that childbearing was part of God's command following the flood, but states on page 26 that, quote, "Today, childbearing is not specifically a part of the work Jehovah has committed to his people. So the matter of childbearing in this time of the end is a personal one that each couple must decide for itself. However, since the time left is reduced, married couples would do well to weigh carefully the pros and cons of childbearing in these times," end of quote. If Jehovah's words to Noah regarding childbearing and swarming fruitfulness can thus be set aside as no longer applicable, how can it consistently be argued that his words concerning blood must be viewed as remaining in force, and also use that as a basis to justify the application of ordinances in the Mosaic Law regarding blood as in force for Christians today?
More significant, however, is that those words in Genesis are made to say something quite different from what they actually say. Any reading of the text will make plain that God there speaks of blood entirely in connection with the killing of animals and subsequently with the killing of humans. In the case of animals, their blood was poured out in evident acknowledgement that the life thus sacrificed for food was only taken by divine permission, not by natural right. With man, the shedding of his blood called for the life of the one doing the shedding, human life being God's gift, and nowhere authorized by him to be taken at will by men. The shed blood of slain animals and of slain humans stands for the life they have lost. The same is true with regard to the Mosaic law text regularly cited requiring that blood be poured out. In all cases, this clearly refers to the blood of animals that have been slain. The blood represented life taken, not life still active in the creature.
Blood transfusions, however, are not the result of the killing of either animals or humans, the blood coming from a living donor who continues to live. Rather than representing someone's death, such blood is employed for the very opposite purpose, namely the preservation of life. This is said not to pronounce blood transfusions as a desirable practice or as having unquestionable propriety, but simply to show that there is no real connection or true parallel between the Genesis mandate regarding slaying and then eating the blood of the animal slain and the use of blood in a transfusion. The parallel is simply not there. In the next segment, Ray goes on dealing with the objections to the scripturalness of this prohibition.